investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our campaign is Master of Nyarlathotep. It was written by Larry DiTilio, Lynn Willis, Mike Mason, Lynn Hardy, Paul Fricker, and Scott Darward, and it's available from the Chaosium website. Our game master is Morgan Llewellyn, and this is episode 6. Our recap will be done by Brian Daly as his character, Frederick Chapman. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Brian?
Dear Kaya, if you receive this letter, then chances are that I'm dead. I don't know how you'll receive this news, seeing as our last encounter ended with you running me off while calling me a pirate and a bastard, among other things. I signed on to an archaeological expedition in Peru that has gone horribly awry in almost every way imaginable. The original founder of the expedition was possessed by something and tried to kill myself and one of my colleagues. We've been plagued by creatures that we've taken to describing as fat vampires. I assure you this is quite unlike the Chupacabra situation in Alto. The locals call them Carisari, and they are responsible for most of the problems facing the area. Last night, my compatriots and I slept in a barn, keeping watch for our aggressors. 2 attacked just before dawn, sneaking past the razor wire reinforced doorway with very little sound. A brief gunfight ensued, and one of my party threw a lit bottle of high-proof alcohol at one of them, setting the barn alight. We all escaped the blaze mostly unscathed, along with our pack animals, but nearly all of our supplies were destroyed. I'm seeing this debacle through. The temple we are searching for is somehow connected with these fiends, and we have 2 artifacts in our possession that we hope to return, and put an end to the Carisari's reign. I had hoped to see you again. I'm willing everything in my house to you, including my kachina and artifact collection. Keep them or sell them to help you put the little one through school. On my life, I promise you I will not plunder the temple. I've learned from my past, and I'm going to try to make things right. Yours, always, Fred.
Morgan?
Yep. So all of you are kind of gathered together outside of the barn burning still. It's very, very early in the morning. It's about 6 a.m. You're gathered outside with yourselves, Jackson, and then your 3 surviving pack animals.
So, a few minutes ago, I was telling you that I was really not sure what we should do, whether we should go back or not. But I've been thinking just now about that letter that you had, the 1700s letter, telling us about Luis Mendoza. And
Yeah, the conquistadors.
And I think that I misunderstood part of it, but now I'm starting to think it through. They went to the temple where we're going. And he says in the letter that they removed a chunk of gold from the wall. We are going to assume that it's the piece that we have. And it's after that that the Carisari begin. His men turn into Carisari. So it could be that the removal of that piece is what caused the Carisari in the first place. And if we put it back, that might get rid of the Carisari permanently.
But that was 400 years ago. There's no telling how much gold they've taken from that place in that time.
Hopefully none at all. Maybe that's the whole thing. Plundering the place brought down a curse.
Well,
and anybody...
You'd imagine that this bar that I've hit them with that has an effect on them, that must be from the same place as the mart.
Well,
There's at least 2
sizzles.
bits of gold from that.
They sizzle when they touch it. I don't think the Carisari are going to be plundering the temple.
If
if
anything,
it
they're
causes them
protecting it.
physical pain.
So you think that the Carisari just want the gold back to repair the temple?
They're not interested in the bar. They want the mask.
No, they want the mask. Yeah, they got no. They keep it away from the bar.
But the secondary question is, Lewis, who we think was something else, not a Carisari, he wanted us to go there and plunder more of the gold, which would not, biological standards, mean that there would then become more Carisari if we plundered more gold.
That's the thing. I think the expedition, the whole idea of us going on this expedition was a fallacy. I think they were making that up to get us to a place so they could sacrifice us or turn us into more of these things to begin with. Mendoza is a Carisari.
Yeah, I think he's the original, like you said in
Yeah.
the beginning.
I think
But Lewis
the goal maybe they needed us to go in to get more of things like the mask out of the temple because they can't get past the other bars. I don't know.
And Jackson, are you talking about Larkin?
Larkin. I think Larkin wanted us to basically, I'm thinking that the gold might be the cork on the bottle that keeps the evil inside, and that Larkin wants us to go there and take more of it out so that more of the evil can get out.
Well, not Larkin, whatever was in Larkin.
Whatever was in
Larkin.
Larkin.
I agree.
The thing
I agree, yeah.
If whatever was possessing Larkin wanted us to go to the temple, is it really a good idea to go to the temple?
Well, I mean, we can close up the evil that was let out.
It seems like they're multiplying these things, these Carisari. If we can cut off their source of power by putting that bar back, that might be the thing that's whatever power source they're drawing from.
It does
I
make
think that
sense.
sounds like a plan, yeah.
It makes sense that Larkin was calling us here to loot, to take more out, to entice us. Because if he was just looking for sacrifices, there's plenty of people here in Peru. He doesn't have to go through the extravagant fee.
Yeah, getting us from all over the world.
Around the world. So he was looking for an archaeological dig crew, us, to specifically go there and take things out.
That being said, I'm now in favor of going back to the temple with the or going to the temple with the intention of fixing it.
Yeah.
If we can touch the gold and they can't touch the gold, then perhaps we would be able to somehow hide the mask from them under the gold or behind the gold or something like that so that they wouldn't be able to get to it.
Yeah.
Maybe the mask was something that they've always wanted and it was in the temple and they couldn't get to it because of the wards and powers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that when Mendoza, the team that pulled the bar off to begin with, maybe they went in and the mask is the only thing that they got out, and they're wanting more things like the mask.
Who had the
out of
mask?
the temple?
Who had the mask?
Larkin had the mask.
Because I'm pretty sure whatever possessed him is now in the mask.
So Larkin...
I had just had that thought too.
Larkin wasn't a Carisari, but but he had the mask.
Yeah, he was possessed by whatever's in this. And that whoever's in the mask is what controls the Carisari. That's why Mendoza was sticking there.
If there's another item like the mask at the temple.
Yeah,
then
Mendoza's trying to get his master back. That's why he's after the mask.
The gold bar with the writing and potential blessing, that burns the Carisari, but it only irritated Larkin.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see what happens when it happens, but I say we put the bar back where it's supposed to go. Hopefully we can find it.
Yeah, let's head off.
Now I'm also concerned when we get there too that it says there was some sort of maze-like structure around the pyramid. But
this sounds huge. How has it not been discovered again?
Overgrown, buried.
World's a big place.
I don't know. Maybe someday they'll have some system where they can fly over all the jungles of the world and take pictures. But
Science fiction.
Maybe someday.
Doubtful.
Right. Let's head off.
Zeppelins can't get that high.
It sounds dangerous, but this could be the biggest story I report for my magazine ever. This might get me that promotion.
It's going to have to go into unbelievable tales because I don't believe it. We're living it. All right.
Yeah, just don't let Chris anywhere near your paper.
All right, let's go.
All right, so
gentlemen.
as you start heading towards the temple again, I'm going to have to ask for a survival check from everybody.
Survival. Huh. I got 39 out of 40.
I've got very little survival.
I'm going to spin 2 luck to pass.
Oh,
that's a fail.
Will you stop? I've rolled 100.
Oh,
Ooh.
I failed. Not that bad.
My speciality is maritime survival, and we're very high above sea level.
Watch out for that hole. Don't swim in the hole. Watch out. There's a puddle of water there.
100. I have just
Yeah.
exploded.
That water, that water is not coffee.
I'll just
Don't
light this
drink
big red candle. Hang on, that'll help.
All right, so we had, 2 passes?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2 passes.
I passed, yeah.
Okay, so here's going. The 2 of you that passed, you managed to find clean enough sources of water for you to be able to purify by boiling it. So for the moment, you're all able to
Continue, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not dying of thirst. You are starting to get hungry though, so you are passing like farmers' fields and things. If anybody wants to.
Food-wise.
Maybe we do a little foraging. How far away do we think we are on foot to the temple, to the pyramid?
So as the morning kind of progresses, you start heading off into more kind of wild territory, if you will. So you're going to be leaving all the farms behind you at this point.
We'll want to see if we can use a farm for something. Maybe we can pay them something. I don't know if we have any money they'd be interested in.
Well, probably. I mean, if we're wandering about and we see a farm, we can go and at least, ask them if we can rest for 20 minutes and get some milk and bread.
And cheese, yeah.
We'll pay them.
Definitely.
Pay them handsomely. Of course, it could all be Carisri, so got to be careful.
Well, if they're Carisri, then we don't need to pay them. Handsomely or otherwise.
Just burn their farm to the ground.
Yes.
Well, maybe not their farm, but certainly them.
All right. So if we do see a place, we'll probably.
Yeah.
Right. So you're seeing farms, but now that you have gone miles away from where you stayed last night, you're not seeing anybody out in the fields.
Well, what time of year is it? I mean, if it's summer, there might not be anybody out in the fields.
Are there crops to harvest out in the fields, or are we just looking at
there are crops growing?
Crops growing, okay. And no one's there, so they might be spooked. Well, we could go up to the house, the casa, the ranchero.
Yeah,
try that.
We'll at least try.
And you go up to one of the houses, and
Hola, ¿qué tal?
No one's there.
Is the front door open?
Nope.
Was that a yep or a nope?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go inside and see if there's any evidence that the people were here, and then if they went suddenly.
You go in, and it just seems to be in a mess. Things
Like
are
it was
toppled over. Things are broken.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely signs of a struggle, but no bodies.
Any food out that's rotting?
There's some that's been tipped kind of onto the ground that is rotting.
Okay, so this happened a while back.
Yeah.
Anything canned or jarred in the cupboards?
Yeah.
Probably jarred. I don't think they had canning technology yet.
In the 20s?
Way out in the boonies in
Way out
Peru.
in the boonies.
Yeah.
There's probably lots of jarred stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of jarred food. But
well, let's help ourselves to some of this. Here's some peaches.
Any backpacks, satchels, carrying equipment?
Not any of that.
Blanket?
Any guns?
Blanket, yes. Guns, no.
Okay. Well, we spend half an hour.
Any obscenely large knives?
Also, no.
Okay.
All right. So after we are satisfied that we ain't gonna get anything more here, we're gonna leave. What time of day is it now?
It's probably about like 11 o'clock.
All right. I don't know how much longer it's going to take us to get there, but
So Hauser, from what you were from the conversations that you had with Jackson's friend,
Yeah.
Naira, you think that you'll probably get to where the temple is by evening if you keep a good pace.
Keep a good pace. So So yes, from what she said, if we keep a good pace up, we will get there by evening.
do we want to be there at evening?
I don't think that's a good idea. We won't have our site as our ally.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we continue walking in that direction, and if we walk for an hour or two and we find another farmhouse, empty or otherwise, we'll stay there, and then we'll go for the temple the next morning.
I like that idea a lot.
Okay.
Hopefully there'll be another
idea
farm
going
between
in there
here.
in the dark.
Yeah.
That's their time.
Hopefully
Yeah.
there'll be another farm between here and there.
Just another thing to think about, not like we have much choice, but the last farm we stayed at, we were attacked. So, but then again, farm or no farm, we'll probably be attacked where we're going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to be ready for it this time.
All right, well, let's get going.
So
Are we out of alcohol?
Might find some at this farm here.
Maybe.
So you are, unless you just so happen to have a flask in your pockets when you vacated the barn.
Fortunately,
That's all you got.
empty.
No. Darn, this must be empty too.
Fortunately, you mean. Well, we could use it to sterilize some water.
I just have 10 shells left for my shotgun. That's it.
All right.
Well, make them count.
All right, so
if we need to go hunting, I've got plenty of ammunition.
So an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by, and you don't see any other signs of civilization.
Shit.
So
Well, we
how
better
many-
start looking for a place where we can bivouac.
Yeah, and we'll need like at least an hour at minimum of light to prepare it to get a clearing.
a cave, a rut in the hill, something that that we can barricade ourselves. So can we?
So if you want to find a kind of look off sides of the path, kind of just as you're going, try to find a place that's going to be safe. You can give me a spot hidden. Kind of.
I got a 93.
Oh, 81.
84.
I got a
Standard pass.
standard pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Frederick?
84. That's a fail.
Okay. So Hauser and Christopher, you think that there might be a pretty good spot. You notice a couple of hills. You think that a bit off this little path that you're following that seems to be pretty worn. It's not paved or anything, but it seems that people have kind of come walking this way often.
Okay.
Just off to a nearby hill. Not too far from this path.
Gentlemen, look.
Seems like pretty good shelter.
This looks good up here. What do you think?
Yeah. Looks
Better
like
than that copse of trees.
looks like
go over there.
It's got a position where they can't like come at us from all sides. So we can direct our attention towards where they can come at us from.
Good. I'll start gathering some kindling.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one fire. A couple of fires out here, so we can see
Probably,
them
yeah.
coming before they.
Right. So from where you're at, you have a pretty good vantage point over
Okay.
probable approaches, unless for some reason they're already on top of the hill, which you didn't see from below. I think you'll be fine.
When our experience in them attacking us, when they attack us, are they preternaturally strong like vampires, or are they just like other people?
They seem to be pretty tough.
Okay.
Well, in setting our camp up, I think that whoever, assuming Chapman's still got the mask, we should put his tent way in the back.
Yeah, up against the cliff there, so that they can't get to him from any side. The other side of the front.
Defensible. But that's what they're going to come for.
What do you think about? What do you guys think about digging a hole, putting the mask in it, and burying it, and then sleep on top of that? It would be even harder for them to get. They may not even be able to detect it if it's buried well enough. Maybe.
Possibly, but we don't know how they're detecting it in the first place. But I thought of the same thing. You know, I'm thinking though that we might need to be able to grab the thing and run.
Yeah, and burying it would eliminate that ability. Okay, it was just an idea. Just thinking.
Not a bad idea.
We don't know what these. I mean, those slug things might be able to come out and
burrow
underground, under the ground or something. For all we know.
Plus, we don't really have anything to dig with except our fingers.
Yeah, well, we get some good sticks, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we'll keep it handy.
Sticks. Oh, you know, we got a little bit of time. I wonder if we can whittle some pointy sticks. Do a traditional, barricade with the sticks pointing out away from us. I mean,
I salvage
just set them up.
That can help.
Yeah, set them up so that if they come charging at us, they
just
run the risk of impaling themselves.
So we're going to do our best to at least barricade ourselves and protect ourselves. And
all right, yeah. So you go through all that. You build your little barricades. You light your fire. You set up your tents in a way to where you can watch where they most likely come from. And simple enough to do all that. And And to be this long, you guys, do you take turns watching throughout the night?
Yeah. I think 2 of us should watch it at a time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And keep the fire going as well, because they don't like fire. So make sure the fire is well stoked, and
Yeah, we should stagger the watches too.
Yeah, 2 at a time, much better than 1 at a time, because 1 person might lose focus. 2 is a better chance to stay focused, and also for initial defense.
So let's do this. Why don't we do this? Hauser, you and I'll stay up first.
Is that good?
And then after 2 hours, one of us will wake somebody up, and we'll do 3-hour shifts, and then whoever went to bed of us will get up at the end again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that we're staggering it like that.
Yeah,
I'm happy to go. Happy to go next. So whoever come wake me up.
And so, are you keeping the fire going all night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm focusing purely right now on gathering kindling. I'll make 3 separate piles of it.
All right. So with your fire going and your rotating kind of shift, nobody comes.
Nothing.
And morning happens.
Okay.
Sun rises.
Check and make sure you still have the mask.
Mask is still there.
Okay.
Okay.
You unwrap the sheet and you find you got a lump of wood.
All right, we should probably head off straight away. So we can make sure we get to the temple before it gets dark again.
Absolutely.
Maybe dig into one of the jars of peaches or whatever we had down there. Everyone have a little bit sparse yet still existent breakfast.
So just to clarify, we haven't seen any sign of anything that could be regarded as some form of ancient structure.
No.
So whatever this temple is, then it's either survived longer than the culture that created it, or they made sure that they erected it a long way away from where they lived.
Yeah.
Or it's well hidden as well.
Or completely overgrown.
Yeah, it could be buried in overgrowth.
Or all of the
above.
above.
I mean, if it's on the Altiplano, it's more likely that it's at such high altitude that no one's ever bothered going up there to look for it.
Oh, good one.
All right,
so we're heading off.
Hidden in the mist.
Bolviats.
Okay, so after a bit of walking, you kind of crest this hill, and you're kind of looking out over this this grassland, and can everybody make a spot hidden?
Oh, 21.
I'd love to make one.
That is a hard pass.
That is a fail.
Octavius is on fire.
All right, so Octavius, you notice what might be 2 people, maybe half a mile away, kind of walking down in that valley.
You see those people down there?
Yeah.
Oh, down the valley. Sorry.
Yeah.
Down.
Are they heading towards us or away from us?
They are walking in the direction you're going.
But at an angle?
Yeah.
Do we recognize their clothing to be the clothing of Mendoza or any of our previous encounters that were not incinerated?
No. You don't recognize Mendoza, and the only 2 that you recognize were the ones that attacked you in the barn.
All right. And they're way ahead of us?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
they don't seem to be looking around at all. They're just kind of dead ahead. They're just...
Well, I suppose we want to find out, don't we?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go really loud, a whistle.
And you see that the two of them look up, and they spot you up on the hill, and both of them bolt.
Yeah.
Towards us?
No, away from you, towards where they were going. They start running.
Well, that was unexpected. I thought they were going to attack us.
Nah, they're trying to get to the temple before us.
No. We expect there to be people at the temple waiting to fight off, so...
Yeah.
And they know that we're coming, obviously, so... They already knew.
All right.
All right.
Let's get there.
Yep, let's keep going.
All right, and as you keep going, eventually you come to this. You're faced with this large, barren plateau. The how you approach it, it's very, very sheer. Doesn't look terribly safe to climb. There is, so on one side there's a very steep valley, and then there's these kind of sharp set of ridges that slowly come up around to get to the top.
And it's flat on the top?
Yeah.
So it's like a tapui? Yeah.
What do you think? Hike along those ridges?
I'm a pretty good climber, but if no one else is, there's no point in climbing it. Should do the ridges.
I'm not an amazing climber.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find a way out that looks decent. Let's see if we can see those guys climbing up.
Make spot hiddens.
I got a 17.
Pass. I got an extreme.
I got a
Look,
5.
100 again.
There we go.
So Boris is busy looking down at the steep valley to one side, admiring the scenery. Well, the others, you see that it does look like that people have been climbing this. You don't see those two exactly, but they are.
We can see
there
a
are signs
path.
that people have clambered
Well,
up.
maybe they kind of know which way to go.
Either that or they're Carissary, and that's one of their
That's true.
abilities.
Well, let's see if we can find
agility.
some way up.
Yeah, Chapman, I like your idea of running the ridge lines. Is there an easy
Yeah.
way to get up to the first ridge line?
So the ridge lines, it will be hard going, but it's not going to be as difficult as a climb as going.
It's just going to take a lot
Straight up.
longer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
we don't have ropes. I wouldn't do that
Yeah,
without rope.
I reckon. Let's be safe. We want to make sure we get to this place fit, fighting ready for whatever we meet. So let's take it safe.
Yeah.
Let's try
We'll
pick
get
up
there
the pace, though.
tired, but we won't get there broken.
We'll try to pick up the pace a little bit, get there quickly.
Okay, and have you brought your pack animals along with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, llamas are still
Yeah.
with us.
They seem to be standing quite a bit away from the plateau, and they refuse to get any closer than they already are.
They probably can't
Yeah.
climb once we start climbing anyway. So,
Yeah.
all right,
I think the llamas are smarter than us at this point.
let's. They're very likely going to get. Should we let them go? I mean, we can tie them up, but if they want to kill them, they'll just kill them.
Yeah, they're not. We didn't have any equipment that was destroyed, so they're not carrying anything for us.
But we got to get back.
Well, they're carrying blankets and some jars right now, but
Let's
well,
take the chance and tie them
we
up.
can do that.
Yeah, let's tie them up.
Hopefully, a jaguar won't get them or anything like that. All right.
So you secure the llamas and you start heading up the ridge line. As you start getting higher, you can all start hearing this high-pitched whistling on the wind, kind of irregularly. Like you'll hear this loud whistle, then it'll stop, and then you hear another couple whistles, and then they stop. Whistles and stop. And you're getting in higher and higher. It's impossible to miss that there are flies up here.
Flies.
Flies.
Like big flies?
And yep, and the higher you are getting, the closer you're getting to the top, to where you can look down onto the plateau, the more and more there are. And so they are buzzing. They're just everywhere.
Oh,
in the
something's
air.
dead up there.
Anybody have natural world?
I do.
Got a little.
Yeah.
Nah.
That is nope. That's not a pass.
Oh
For
shit!
natural
I
world.
passed.
76 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't deal with flies. I'm a doctor, not a entomologist.
Pass from you, Morris?
No.
Or fail?
I
Okay.
got a pass.
So Christopher, perhaps from some past not so pleasant experience, you recognize these as blowflies
Oh, Jesus Christ.
that typically feed on carrion.
Yeah, guys, these are. I remember I found a way back. There was a body hidden in the bayou, and these blowflies they were hanging around the body. Something's dead up there.
Yeah, probably all the farmers.
And as you are
detestable.
climbing and wind is kind of blowing across that plateau and sweeping to you, you are all just hit with this overwhelming stench of just rotten meat
Oh,
and rancid fat.
Oh, God.
God damn it!
Constitution. I passed. Smells like an abattoir.
Oh, I
Failed
finally made
con
a
check.
roll.
Oh,
I
failed
just
contact.
passed my con.
Vomiting time.
God, Jesus, how's it?
Yeah, so
Put
failing
it away from
con,
me.
like,
Sigh.
yeah, it's difficult to focus.
Ugh.
It is just horrific.
After 20 minutes or so, our nasal sensitivity is going to be deadened. Jeez.
Right, and as it starts, like, it reaches its peak of just so overpowering, you can now look down and see the top of the plateau.
Okay.
You can, and you see what appears to be a structure, kind of surrounded by these low walls. What appears to be the top of a pyramid is kind of jutting out of the surface. Flattened top, very steep stair-like architecture leading up to the top of it. Very kind of low, crumbling walls surround it in a perimeter. And you see, like, the whole courtyard around this seems to be just barely poking out of the bottom. What would have appeared to have once been a maze, like, set up with the walls that have now all crumbled away or they've sunk.
Does it look like there's like a village or something set up?
No, just what appears to be a lot of walls that have crumbled away into nothing.
Are there clouds of flies anywhere?
Not that you can see it at this distance, but that piping sound of the smell is definitely coming from down there. And you look at that the top of the pyramid is cracked. This from one corner to the other is this fissure, and you can see the silhouette of two people at this pyramid. One's at the bottom, kind of with its arms up, and you see the other one makes its way up to the top, leans over the crack, and starts vomiting.
How far away a distance are we from these two figures?
Just maybe say half. You can see them, but
It's like half a mile away.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're looking down at them. They're out of range of any weaponry that you
Okay,
have.
I was gonna
but-
say. Yeah.
So they're pretty distant, but you can still make out what they're doing, and you see that they're vomiting for a long time.
When you
definitely
mentioned one of them, when you mentioned one of them made its way to the top, did it seem like unnaturally leaping and bounding up to the top very quickly?
It seemed to be like reaching up and clambering up.
Huh. Okay.
Quite strong, quite fast.
Jeez. Okay.
And it's going on for a minute now. It's still heaving and throwing up into this crack.
So these,
and eventually it stops, and it very slowly kind of slumps back down to the bottom, lifts its arms up as the other one climbs up
and does the same thing.
So did the one that came, he vomited and came down. As he came down, he looked very lethargic and like weaker?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So they sort of
yeah.
And even from this distance, you might see like holy hell, is he thinner? Yeah. Is the one crawling down?
Okay.
Even from this distance, like
this is the time to take him out.
Yeah, we need to go. Double time to the guy at the base. Let's take him out.
Guys, it's like a bird. They're feeding something. Yeah.
And as you start making your way down, you see the other one kind of clambers down, and they both kind of walk to the other side of the pyramid and disappear from view as you guys are making your way down towards the outer wall.
Something's inside that pyramid that removing this piece of gold has let it hatch.
What if it's the body of whatever the soul now is in the mask? What if it's the body of,
I don't know,
of that? So hang on, if they're throwing up there, there must be a hole. Maybe we can see it.
I'm not sure I want to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if we still had some dynamite, I'd chuck that down the hole. But
well, except that we want to fix the pyramid.
True.
Did you say there was a crack right down the pyramid?
There is a massive crack. So the top of the pyramid is very flat, very rectangular, and from one corner to the other corner is this fissure.
So I'm not sure we can really fix.
I don't know if we can fix it if there's a massive crack in the thing.
But if that gold bar is part of a magical spell, we need to put it back.
Yeah, let's go find the wall that needs the gold.
Is there any entrance at the base that we can see from the side we're at?
So you clambered down. There does not seem to be, from what you saw above, there does not seem to be an entrance from the base, at the base of the structure. It definitely from your guys' archaeological expedition experience, this thing seems partially, like mostly buried. Like this is the top of something. Most of it's still underground.
Okay, so if there's a base entrance,
there's an entrance, it's not here.
Yeah.
And you still don't see where those two, they don't reappear. You don't see them at all as you kind of come to the kind of a place where the wall has collapsed to where you can fit through and enter the.
Did they go off in the direction that of the cliff face that?
Yes, towards the sharp valley. They went over in that direction.
I am walking with my hand on my gun hilt, just in case. I am expecting them to pop out of nowhere and attack us, at which point I'm going to blow their heads off if I can.
Just out of a curiosity, what's like the width of the pyramid that we are going around? Is it like a football field by a football field? Like 100 yards, 100 yards?
We're only seeing the tip of it sticking out of the ground, though, right?
Right. So the pyramid itself, you might say like the entire footprint of what's sticking out.
Yeah.
Might be a football field.
Oh, okay. So if we split up.
So the top of it is I don't know, maybe 30 yards across.
Okay, so that's big. So it would take a fair moment for some of us, if we split the party, to run around one side the other group?
Yeah, it would definitely take
Like 5
some
minutes.
time
Yeah,
to
let's not split
move
the party.
all
Yeah.
the way around it. And as you if you make your way through the gap in the wall, that weird piping sound, it's definitely stronger. It's more current.
Are we all assuming that the piping sound is these Carisari sending signals to one another?
Hadn't thought of
Could
that.
be.
But
I don't think that it's
possible.
birds.
I'm worried it might be whatever they just vomited, whatever they're feeding.
Well, everybody make an archaeology roll.
Either it's the wind going through a crack.
37 archaeology. Nope, no pass.
Nope, fail.
85 out of 1.
You want to spend some luck?
No, I mean I could spin luck to pass, but I feel like I'm gonna need my luck coming up. So yeah, no, I'll let it go.
I would have to spend 13 points of luck. I'm going to spend 13 points of luck to pass.
Okay, so Octavius, as you're kind of looking at the ruined wall around you, and now the kind of the bottom of this pyramid, now that you're up close to it, you notice that there seems to be on the higher levels there these chiseled tubes, like these cylindrical gaps.
Okay.
That kind of go at like a top level and they get entered like the base of the pyramid. And then shortly on the level below it, you start noticing these carved faces out of the rock.
Right.
And when you start thinking about it, you feel like a gust of wind, and as it happens, it seems that the wind is going down and it's kind of making this eerie,
like blowing over the top of a bottle.
yeah. And it's kind of the sound.
Creepy.
The sound is kind of whistling out of these faces. And you see that these faces cover all over this pyramid. There are these faces carved into the remnants of these walls. They are just everywhere.
So it's not Band of Carisari planning an attack on us. Well, let's get a little closer. I'm pretty sure that's what's causing the noise.
And so getting closer, make a listen check.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, everybody that's approaching the pyramid.
Ooh, 19. Hit it hard.
94.
Standard pass.
More it is.
Okay, so everybody, regardless of pass or fail, it is very apparent that this whistling sound is coming from these faces that have been carved into the pyramid. Those of you who pass, beyond the whistling, you hear like a liquid like sloshing and bubbling very faintly.
Like, can we identify the direction?
Like from up.
The vomit dripping down the
From towards the top, you hear this. Just very from where you are, it's very faint, but you can definitely hear this liquidy bubbling sound.
Do the faces look incredibly realistic, or do they look definitely like carved faces?
They look like masks. They're not so detailed human faces, but they look like
the mask that we've got.
Avoiding archaeology. Yeah, it seems to be whatever civilization carved this probably also made this mask.
Okay,
so we're in the right place.
But you don't, it's old. Whatever it is. Very old.
all right. Well, since it looks like the only way in is the crack up above.
Oh, that's what we haven't seen any wall that needs a gold bar put back in it, or an entrance or anything like that. Unless we want to walk around the whole pyramid.
Yeah, this is massive. To find where that little piece came out of this massive pyramid would would take us days.
Well,
I would bet that it came from a place inside.
would you say that this took thousands of years to bury? In which case, the conquistadors, that was only a couple of hundred years ago. They, or what, 300 years ago.
About
there might be an entrance still.
The thing I'd be worried about is I don't want to enter where they were vomiting, because if they're feeding something, that means we'd be dropping right into its lair.
Yeah, dropping in from the ceiling isn't a good idea.
So let's walk around it.
Yeah, let's walk around.
Let's see if we can find a place where they tunneled in or broke their way in.
Okay, so as you approach that kind of side with the valley, you didn't think that smell of rotten flesh could get any worse, but it does. The wind from the side of the pyramid you were on was sheltering you from whatever it is. Its source.
Obviously,
99. I failed my con check, so I throw up.
Obviously, the Carissa over on this side.
Oh god.
And now, and this space is mostly flat, and the smell is coming from the. So if the courtyard is semi-square, like the pyramid's on one corner, and most of the smell is coming from across the flat field to this other corner.
Okay. Oh, god damn it.
Where there appears to be some kind of depression in the ground. You can see in that other corner.
We don't have any flammable material any longer, do we?
Nope.
Oh, great.
Well, we have cloth, matches.
No more kerosene gas.
Nothing that would sustain a large burn.
No, I've got flint and my knife, but that's about it.
Not as prepared as I was hoping to be.
And Frederick, do you still have the mask on you?
Mm-hmm. Bundled in one of my blankets.
Okay, as you're walking around this pyramid, you feel like all the hairs on your body like stand up, like just covered in goose flesh. As you're walking around. And from here, from the flat, you see like those crumbling stone structures, but nobody else. It's very empty.
See that divot in the ground over there? Something tells me that's going to be our entrance.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, let's see if that's the case.
And Octavius, continuing your past archaeology roll from before, as you make your way over to that divot, you notice that, wait a minute, this group of stones don't look like the rest. And it almost looks like a cap. There is a stone block seeming to be covering a shaft.
Is it it's open, it's closed though, right?
It's closed.
This looks like some sort of capstone. Hold on, let's see if we can how big does it look? Does it look like
it's pretty sizable. If several of you, it looks like if a few people work together, you could.
All right, plug your noses. This is going to be bad.
Likely.
All right.
So let's
try and push it out of the way.
All right, so Octavius is pushing.
I am.
Christopher's pushing. Frederick's pushing.
Yeah.
All right, so whichever one of you has the highest strength, I'll let you roll with the bonus dice.
Won't be me.
Got a 55. You mean the lowest?
Highest strength.
I'm quite happy to help.
Whoever has the highest strength will roll with the bonus dice.
But by highest strength, you mean the lowest number? Or no? Yeah.
The highest number. Whoever strength is the best strength to roll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
My strength is 70.
Yeah, it's Morris.
Morris? Okay.
Okay.
Yep. You get to roll with the
bonus dice. There's a bonus dice.
Yes. With all four of you just pushing away at this.
If there's room, I'll help too.
Yeah, everybody.
And 68. So they're both standard passes. So it's
all right, so dig in, and all of you push. The stone slab kind of goes off one side and kind of falls to the ground and cracks, and this just pit of just black opens up, and just the smell of rancid fat just washes up from the hole. And it is pitch black down there. A little bit of sunlight coming through. You think you can actually see the floor? It's not too far down into a tunnel.
Can
maybe
we see?
15, 20 feet down.
Can we see that it's fat?
You can't make out any.
Okay.
All right. Now how are we going to get down there?
Frederick's got some blankets. We could tie them together and lower someone down. And then they can light a torch down there or something, and then so we've got some light.
We'll have to make a torch first. Got some sticks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some sticks. I've got a machete. So I can
cut some strips off of this blanket here.
certainly.
So is that the plan? We'll make a rope out of some of the blankets, and then whoever gets lowered down lights a torch, and we all go down.
Let's
Does someone want to stay? Do we want some people to stay out here and keep watch in case the Carisri rock up?
Well,
Possibly, yeah.
if they were ordinary people, one guard could do something, but there's not much. One or two
That's what
of
I'm
us.
saying. So 3 go in, and then 2 people stay outside and keep watch.
Well, there's 6 of us, right? Is Jackson still with us, right?
yeah.
Jackson's with us, yeah. So 4 go in and 2 stay out, or 3 go in and 3 stay out.
Yeah, 3-3 is good because
Right.
I wouldn't want 1-2 still kind of weak against the Carisri.
I'm thinking we should all stick together.
Yeah, I think you're.
But then what if this is our only way out, and they get rid of the rope? If they get rid of this rope we're making, we're in here. That's it.
Oh yeah, and then they put the stone back on top.
How far down is the floor?
I don't know.
You can the since you came here during it's now the afternoon now, that light is kind of now going down. It's still very dark down there, but you can barely make out this carved stone floor at the bottom, and your guess is it's somewhere between 15 to 20 feet down.
I got a question then. Looking down, now I'm assuming we're in the divot, looking down the hole.
You are not at the divot yet. This is on the way. This is between the pyramid and the.
Well, that's my question. We're looking down into a hole. The pyramid's over here.
Yep.
And is the tunnel running this way?
The tunnel is running to the pyramid and back towards that divot.
We can see which way the tunnel's going. Maybe there's an easier entrance over here near the divot. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take a look over there. Maybe there's a ground level.
So as you all go over to the divot, you see that it seems to be this carved. We would think it would almost be an entryway with these steps going down. But the steps are covered with rotting corpses.
Oh yeah.
All of which have been torn at the chest in a very familiar fashion. Some are totally skeletal, showing signs of aging. Others are very fresh. And they just cover this. So you could almost just slide down them towards this opening down in the ground.
Maybe we could take a big stick and push them out of the way.
Maybe.
At least it's still going to be easier to get up and down this way. I say we get some sticks and push them at least to either side. And
before we leave, we need to try and... Man, I wish we still had some
Is that a
kerosene
sand
or
check
something.
out of interest?
Yeah.
It will be.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like,
Start.
seeing a bunch of bodies and then trying to move them aside. I'm gonna.
Yep. So to work your way down. So yep.
Yeah.
Taking that
Like
rate down, that is gonna. Yeah, that's a sand check.
Yeah. I
What's
got
the
it.
what's the sand loss for a 98?
With a fumble, we'll do it max. That's 4.
Okay.
And with a pass.
A pass is 1. So a fail's 1d4. A pass is 1.
Oh,
I still, guys, I still think we should make sure we've got. I don't think we should all run in guns blazing because I don't know. I've got a.
I'm not talking about running in guns blazing, but look, if we're going to get attacked, I'd rather we all get attacked together. Don't you?
Yeah, I just worried they can creep up on us from behind now if we all. But yeah, all right. If that's the general consensus of the group is we all go in, then yeah.
All right. So yeah. So but those of you who have failed, this is awful. It is. It's sickening, and you just can't shake off this horrific dread that's setting in.
You just gotta think of it as if you were in the war and you had to do body cleanup detail.
Stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
God.
You take my lower lip and bring it all the way up over
Like
my
we're,
nose.
It's looked like we're walking into the lion's den, quite literally.
Yeah.
And as you make your way to the bottom, you see that opening. It's about 4 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
So you have to like stoop.
Gonna stoop to get in.
Single file.
Get something lit, or do we have flashlights still?
You don't have flashlights.
All right.
Here,
They
give
were-
me a torch.
So we've made torches.
Yeah, makeshift torch.
Light
All right,
up
and
the torch.
since this is a single file line into the tunnel here, what order are you in?
I'm gonna bring up the rear. I'm watching our backs.
You choose that spot. I'm gonna go first.
I'll go second. I've got the short shotgun, so that should probably be close to the front.
I'll go third, brandishing the gold bar.
Ooh, good.
We're looking for a place where we can put that back in the wall.
So Frederick and Christopher are in the back.
Jackson and I will Rochambeau for who's going before the other.
All right, so Jackson will be in the back with Christopher. Frederick will be more in the middle.
Yep.
All right, so Octavius, as you lead the way with your light, this stone is very intricately carved. Lots of artwork and a lot more of those mask-like faces on the walls. And you pass over, there's kind of this little shred of light coming down, and you pass that stone cap that you opened up.
Right.
And eventually you come to a T to your left and to your right. Now that you're here, the smell of that rotten fat is definitely coming from your left. And that hallway seems to go down for a while. And now as your light shines that way, you see that about halfway up in the tunnel, there's these definite glitter of gold bands in the wall shining back at you. And from the right is a very, very short tunnel, and you can see just the back. It leads into this little room that is stuffed with gold. Golden items, cups, necklaces, rings, all sorts of jewelry and furniture just stuffed in the side room.
So
and
folks,
a couple of these gross mats, like sleeping mats, kind of laid out.
So which way do you think the conquistadors went, folks?
I would guess if they're...
Maybe we can put the gold band back with the others.
Yeah, if we're going to repair the engraving or whatever.
All right, well...
That's probably off to the left.
Or we can try and get more to protect ourselves. I don't know.
We know where that is. There it is there. So we'll go the other way and head towards where we see bands of gold on the wall. Because it says they pried it out of the wall.
Did the tunnel open up slightly? Or is it still 4x4?
It's still 4x4. But that room to your right opens up. There's more room that way. The other way is still
narrow and tall and short.
Well, let's head to the right just to stretch out a little bit.
So you want to go to the room with the treasure?
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right. Well, don't take anything. That's what started this whole nightmare.
I know.
Okay, so we're not going to put the band back?
Well, we will. We're going to go check out the other room really quick. It's shorter distance.
Like I said, I'm keeping a very good close ear and eye back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
These Carisri have been sleeping in here, some of them.
So Octavius, as you enter this room, you see that on two of the mats are the two very now weakened, very thin forms of this man and this woman. You don't recognize them on the mat. And standing above them with a big grin on his face, this horrific burn cutting across his face. Mendoza, and he says, "I see you've arrived, Mr. Fox."
Mendoza.
And he rushes at you.
I'm going to shoot him.
Shotgun.
All
right in the forehead.
Roll your firearms.
Who's got the flaming torch?
Octavius does.
Okay, cool.
I got a 28 out of 60, so a hard.
Roll your damage.
Okay. That's 8.
8. So your shot kind of passes through his head at kind of this oblique angle. So kind of this skull and brain matter kind of spurts off to one side, but he's still coming.
Okay.
And he's going to...
I'm going to duck then so that whoever's behind me can shoot. What did you say he's going to do?
All right. And he's brandishing a knife, and so he's moving in to stab you as the person behind you, which is Hauser, was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Hauser, you make your firearm roll. As Octavius, he's going to try to stab you.
It is good. It is hit. Yeah.
Yeah, roll your damage.
It is good. Shot off shotgun. Kaboom. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10, 16.
Okay, so you blast his head off as he plunges a knife into Octavius, who hit the floor to give you room to shoot.
All right, so I don't get to try to dodge. I guess I'm maneuvering to get out of.
Yeah, you could make your dodge.
No, 28. What is my dodge?
Up your dicks.
27. I could do 1 point of luck. I don't know if I want to spend 1 point of luck to successfully dodge. Of course I do.
Well, he has succeeded with a hard success.
Okay, so he's got
you can
me.
hold on. Yeah, you can hold on to your luck point.
Oh no!
As you take 9 points of damage as he stabs you right in the stomach.
Scheiße.
I better start making up my secondary character. All right.
As he guts and pulls, kind of basically cuts you open as his head just disappears. Everybody's ears are ringing. Very, very cramped. It starts echoing everywhere as you see that the other two Carisri that are on the mat start to move. Their eyes start to open, and they slowly start getting up.
Stomp the fucking heads.
Hauser, put the fire on them.
Yeah.
Move forward. Let's get out of this damn tunnel.
So I'll try to move forward and to the right to let anyone pass.
All right, so Hauser moves forward. Morris comes in behind him. Frederick starts making his way in. Yeah, these two are slowly getting up. Their mouths are starting to contort into that leech shape as they start pulling themselves up.
I will put the next round right into it when I get my chance.
Okay, well, it's simple enough. They're getting up, so you just stuff the barrel of your gun up against one's head, and you just blast that away. That's easy enough. Frederick and Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Down to 8.
What are you two up to as this last one is?
I'm gonna save some ammo and try and stab him with the knife. Fire and dismemberment.
All right, so you're going to stab Morris?
He's going to stab me.
I'm not gonna
Why are
stab
you going to
Morris.
stab me?
I'm not gonna stab Morris. I'm gonna stab the guy on the mat.
as Frederick is now stabbing this Carisri that's getting up, what are you doing, Morris?
Well, I was going to hit it with the gold bar.
All right, so it's very slow at this point. So where do you want to hit it with the gold bar?
I'm just going to bash it on the head with it.
All right, so much like Mendoza before, it's just its head burns away and it just lets out this horrific screeching noise as you bash it until it stops twitching.
Right, so someone patch up Fox.
No,
and
burn
the
them.
rest of
burn
us.
them first.
Who had the rest of the booze?
Burn them before Mendoza comes
Yeah.
back.
Booze is gone.
Right,
Is
just
the,
more or less just
I've got a
pile
little bit
stuff
of
up
my
and
hip flask.
burn 'em.
Like I've got a little bit of alcohol in my hip flask.
The mats that they're sleeping on, are those just like dry?
I'm gonna do
Yep.
first aid on Fox.
Okay.
While
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, yep,
while
roll
everyone
first aid.
else does it.
Yeah, light the mats on fire.
yeah, let's get a funeral pyre going.
I'm gonna spend 4
Burn
luck
the
to
beasts.
pass the first aid.
Okay, so you stop the worst of the bleeding. Octavius, you get a hit point back.
Sonny.
Sorry, I can't do more, Fox.
That's okay. I've been
We're
stabbed
gonna
before.
get you out of here, though. We're gonna get you out of here.
You should see my back.
Jeez, take me to dinner sometime, Fox.
I got whipped.
God.
I think I'm a little bit delirious.
Yeah, you the loss of blood, the pain, the smell, it's all
I'm
very surreal at this point.
I'm
Let's
gonna
try and
stay
get this
here
gold
and
bar back.
I'm gonna stay here and tend the fire, while you guys go ahead and put that gold bar back.
Jackson, can you watch it? Can you stay with him, Jackson?
Can do.
Hey Jackson,
Okay. All right, come on.
so much
let's
for your
get this-
death cults. Gonna write a book.
But I will say I'm not sure that how well these things are going to burn in here.
Well, drag
Yeah.
him to the place where there's the chimney going up.
Yeah, this place will fill with smoke, and we won't be able to breathe in here.
Yeah. If you drag him to the place where the hole's in the ceiling, then it'll make like a chimney and make them burn really good.
Fair.
Right, so Jackson will start dragging the mats and the bodies that way.
Look at that! There's a golden lamp. I wonder what happens if I rub it.
Don't.
Okay, so and the other 4 of you, are you heading now down the rest of the?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So a short distance after you pass that fork again, and you start making your way this way. Yep, built. Yeah, and both sides of the wall are these gold bands with intricate designs that look exactly like the piece that you have, all sectioned together in this mosaic along the walls.
Start
Is
looking
there
for
a gap?
missing.
Yeah.
As you're looking for the gap, who's in front?
I think I was leading the
Okay.
charge back.
Christopher.
To the thing,
So you're looking for a gap. You're looking for a gap in your foot. You step on something and hear this crunch. And you look down and you see this shriveled up skeleton in the floor. And as you crack it open, its jaw kind of falls out, and the slug crawls out and onto your leg.
I'm gonna try and kick it off.
All right, make a fighting brawl as this thing is kind of going up your pant leg and is climbing you.
That is a 40, which is a pass.
All right, so you manage to grab it as it starts making its way up your leg, and pulling it off of you, and so now it's kind of just squirming, pulsing in your hands. All right, as it just, you pop it in half, it was horrific, just popping noise, and just fat just drips all over your hands.
I fucking hate those things.
Step in something?
Shut the hell up. Let's find this fucking thing and put the fucking out.
All right, so you make your way down the tunnel. You hit a corner. You start going around it. And your light shines on the ground in front of you, as you can now see on one side, on kind of to one side of you would be the outer light going away from the pyramid. But the side going deeper into the pyramid, you see there's this crack in the wall. There seems to be a section of that golden design that there's a section missing very clearly, and that crack runs right down the center of that, as you see fat is slowly oozing out of it into this pool of fat about 5 feet across. And in the middle of that is the missing section of the bar. And as you're watching it, you hear this little squealing sound as you see one of those worms its way out of that crack and kind of plops into the pool of fat.
We need to burn this.
Fat flammable?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes, you can make candles from it.
But it usually needs a wick.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, a bit of fabric would do, wouldn't it? I mean, any bit of cloth.
We need that kerosene or
The skeleton that I stepped on, was that wearing clothes?
It was very, very, whatever it is, it's mostly rotted away now, but there's still some.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab one of the arm bones and wrap one end with quite a bit of the fabric and tie it, and then I'm gonna light it with Frederick's lit torch that he's got, and then I'm just gonna throw it into the pool of fat.
Okay, so this thing just lights up. You see several of the worms start coming out of the pool and trying to make their way away from the fire as the whole tunnel starts filling with smoke.
Right, back out.
Back out.
I think it would have been a good idea to have done that after I'd put the gold.
It was in the. You'd have to go in the pool to put it back. It was 5 feet.
You probably don't want to step in that.
You would have to get in it.
Oh right, but I thought you just said that it was a crack in the wall that was.
So there's a crack that's oozing into this pool of fat that.
Yeah, 5 feet across.
So
the crack's been running down, so it's been coming out
and we saw the slugs going into the pool. Yeah. So
all right, so
it's go out and wait for the fire to stop, and
All right, so it's
okie dokie.
filling
Let's
with
get
smoke.
back somewhere where there's air.
Yeah. Get Fox on her way out.
It might take a while for that to burn off.
All right, so as you all evacuate, as you all start making your way back to the tunnel, as smoke is coming, you see that a very concerned-looking Jackson is looking at you as smoke's coming this way, and behind him is the burning pile of Carisri bodies and mats blocking your way back out.
It'll be all right. Just head into the treasure room.
So, yeah, so everything is filling with smoke.
What are you guys doing?
We're just gonna have to climb over the burning bodies.
That's not a good idea.
We'll run through them.
We've got some water we can put. I don't know. Well, we have to get out of there anyway. We can't go into the tree.
All right, yeah. So
kick him to the side.
You're coughing on smoke, and you see Jackson just barrels through that burning pile.
Yeah.
He's like, follow me, and he starts taking off.
I'm helping Fox.
Okay, yeah.
I'll help Fox also. The two of us, it'll go faster.
Yeah.
On either side of him.
I'm going to follow, mumbling something about fucking firebugs.
Yeah. Did you guys put the bar back?
We didn't get a chance. It was full of fat. Lake of fat. It's what we set fire to. That's what he set fire to.
So, okay. Just get me outside.
I think he's got a bit of a problem with fire, if I'm honest with you.
Considering how slowly fat burns, it might take 10 years for it to all burn.
So as you guys exit and go back up through this now path you have through the corpses, get Octavius all situated. Yeah, you're sitting there for an hour passes, smoke's still coming out. 2 hours pass, smoke's still coming out. Third hour passes, it's starting to die, so pretty soon I think it will have run its course.
Time to get dark.
How late is it in the day now?
And it is evening.
Oh no. So we're gonna have to camp out overnight on the frickin' temple. Oh God.
Right when we need to build a fire.
Yeah.
But the smoke seems to be clearing up.
All right.
Gotta put that bar back.
Yeah.
Hauser, Morris, let's go put that bar back.
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
The rest of you,
Jackson,
relax. Think about setting up camp, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so Frederick, Hauser, and Morris, you make your way back into the tunnel. Now it just smells all like just, burning flesh. It's lingering. Smoke still hovering at the kind of the top of the tunnel. But as you make your way back, you see that the ground, that crack kind of runs into the floor and had cracked open a nice little divot for all that fat to come down to. But that's all cleared out now. Don't see any more of the little slugs. And there's
how deep would the little pool of fat have been?
It would have been about 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
Right where the bar was. So you would have been waist deep in it with the slugs all around you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have stepped in that, Morris.
So I'll hang back and guard for anything that might come up on whoever's going to put the bar back.
All right. And while that's happening, up top, Octavius and Christopher.
Yeah.
You start seeing people entering the courtyard. Lots of, at least 20 of them.
Okay, I'm pulling out my gun.
Coming in, and they start from the path with the valley, from the side, around the, like they're all closing in on you. As Morris, you are putting the bar back in.
The handle of my switchblade.
All right,
well,
so
actually, I'll just use the switchblade without the blade out, and just to sort of beat it back into shape to fill up the gap so that it fits in properly.
Okay, so as you slot it back in, as you're pounding and pounding, as Christopher and Octavius and Jackson are firing at the crowd that's descending upon them just from all directions, that bar locks. You get it back into place. And Octavius and Chris, all at once, all of a sudden, all of them just stop yards away from you.
What are they doing?
And you see they all start looking around, and they start notice this look of fear kind of shoots across them as they all turn around and they all start running towards the pyramid.
I reach over and I put my hand on Christopher's hot gun and I sort of push it down. I say, I think they put the bar back.
Yeah, but now the guys are running towards the temple.
They're not going down. They're
They're running away
to the top. And you see they're not running. They're all now climbing up to the top of the pyramid.
Oh, okay.
All right.
As Morris, Hauser, and Frederick, you see that you put the bar back in and you feel like this sense of anticipation, but the bar just sits there. There doesn't seem to be any.
Can I go to the entrance and yell down to them? I'm going to yell, we've got company!
Yeah.
Okay, yep. And so 3 of you come back all the way up to the top. But yeah, you see...
Is that... What was Chris yelling about?
Yes, we have company.
Just point,
there might be more Curry coming.
Well, they probably heard our guns going off.
Yeah.
I mean, as you look,
if they want to fight, I've got a small knife and my fists, so they'll get what's coming to them.
But they don't seem to be.
That I'm alive.
They don't seem to be interested in you. There's men, women, and children of all walks of life up on the top of this pyramid. And you all see that they all start kind of digging with their hands at the crack, and they're all just crying. Those of you that speak Spanish, they're saying, Father of maggots, please save us.
So we've locked whatever it is away.
They're all just crying and tearing with their hands as you see that they all start to crumble into dust.
They're at the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they all crumble away.
Pass that sand check.
I feel pretty good.
You say they crumble away. What happens to their clothes and personal effects?
They stay behind.
Oh, so there's money.
Yeah. Let's.
We got a whole room full of gold
I'm
over
having
here.
I'm not.
As you see, Jackson says, "Well,
let's not touch the gold."
Yeah.
Oh, gold! I'm just after
I'm not taking anything.
There's a few hundred solids
the
there. I mean,
yeah.
That'll buy me a decent dinner.
Yeah,
it's all right for you. You've got plenty of money, but I mean, you've got to get it.
Do you know what, Chapman? You should put the mask back.
Well, I don't know if the mask came from there.
But where does the mask go? I was going to say, where does the mask go?
Yeah.
You did not see a slot for it.
I don't think leaving the mask here is necessarily a good idea. Because
well, maybe
whatever the hell Larkin was knew of this location.
Okay. Why don't
we should put the
Are you happy to hold on to it?
Until I find a really nice anonymous hole somewhere else.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Well, I'll go up with Morris and have a look at what the people have left behind up top.
Yeah.
When I was in the treasure room.
Nice poncho over there. I'll have that.
What sort of things were in the treasure room?
Just everything. The more you said you spent more time in there, there's more than just gold in there. There's all sorts of like silver, jewelry, gems. Just generally things that are shiny seem to have been.
Well, I was going to say
all shapes and sizes.
I mean, we said we don't want to touch the treasure, but then again, removing that gold bar with the magical spell on it's one thing, but taking a ruby the size of that's maybe something completely different.
And Jackson, who's by, says that's kind of what I was thinking, Fox.
I see we get some souvenirs from this
I'm not
shithole.
touching the treasure.
Good to me.
All right,
Jackson,
so Frederick
I'll walk up to the top of the thing and see if I can find a poncho as awesome as Morris's.
So as you go, you can, anybody that wants to take some stuff from from that treasure room can. You
Well,
don't have a
just go
whole lot
give
of
me a
place to
trinket.
carry things, but you can.
I'm going to do something that possibly is a little bit stupid, but
Okay.
hey, I've got a track record. I need to fulfill it, right?
Right.
So when we go up to the top and there's all the stuff remaining, I'm going to go to the hole that they were throwing up down
Mm-hmm.
and look in it.
Okay. Make a luck check.
I was worried I was going to hear that. Okay, come on.
I'm gonna elbow Morris and point.
08. 08. Holy shit.
Yeah. As you look down there, you can't get a good look at whatever is in there.
But there's something in there.
There's something down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look back at them and go, yeah, there's definitely.
But whatever it was, you didn't see it.
There's something down there. This father of maggots. But yeah, I don't want to meet him. So we've locked.
Was it like a great big blubbery, shapeless orange mass with a strange
Possibly,
yellow
maybe.
tuft on
That's
top
very
of it,
specific. That's very specific.
and white rings around its eyes?
That's extremely specific. Have you seen something like that before?
I had a nightmare about something like that once, and I thought of it as the father of maggots, the
Elias, go
lord of
get us some.
corruption.
Let's go get some treasure.
All right. Yep. So Jackson goes down with Fox to get some treasure.
I'll go down too to get a couple pieces, just a couple.
Nothing
Okay,
that looks like it's got magic spells on it, though.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So none of the stuff down here.
Coins, gems, stuff that I can put in my pockets, stuff that might be easily fenceable, sellable. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
All right, and as you're sitting in here, you see, you can kind of see that the goal is actually this room is bigger than you first thought it was, and it seems like Jackson starts laughing. It's like, man, if this is all real gold, this is, I don't know, the contents of this room is somewhere around $200,000.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we can't. Gold is really heavy.
Yeah. Take coins and jewels. Gems.
Take a souvenir.
Wait, Jackson, did you say $200,000? Everything in this room?
Oh, at least.
God, that would make me almost.
Well, look at this. He starts picking up like diamond rings and these golden cups, and it's like, I mean, these Carisserie have assembled themselves quite a little collection.
Yeah, if there's diamond rings, then it's not ancient Aztec or ancient Mayan or Inca.
It's from all over.
Well, and from studying it, you see that the earliest stuff that seemed to be started in here dates back to the conquistadors.
This is a treasure room from the Carisserie.
This is the stuff they've taken from their victims, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want this shit.
Yeah, that's a bit gross. Yeah.
I want that little tiny golden idol of the, something like that. But yeah.
What like that little golden idol to the north of Kathmandu? That's
Yeah,
miles
that one.
away.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Oh,
I got to get to a hospital.
I'm going to take gold coins and gems anyway. Fill my pockets. I
gotta
can't
get
afford to be fussy.
I got to get to a hospital.
I'm going to take if I can find like a little, maybe a bracelet with some gold with jewels in it. I'll take that.
Just a handful of gems or jewels. Yeah, for me.
Nice earring with a pearl on there. I'll get my ear pierced. I'm a sailor. I've already got my ear pierced. I'll put it in.
All right.
Let's
do the
get
whole
Octavius to the hospital.
Right, let's get Fox back to the hospital, yeah.
And as you kind of gather together with the pyramid behind you, with that whistling and the horrific smell, you start heading back, and that is the end of the first scenario of Mass of Nyarlathotep.
All right.
I'm alive.
Do we get any rewards?
Yes.
All right.
Do those of us who are injured get our health back?
So there is going to be there's going to be a 5-year gap between this scenario and the next.
Okay.
So if each of you want to think about what you have been up to in those 5 years, let me know. Any skills that you've passed throughout this scenario, you can roll to see if they improve.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a standard 1d10 if we
On a fail? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next spot's in New York.
Yes.
But
We'll
not
go-
all
we
of us.
will-
Not all of us will go to med school, I'm guessing.
Probably not. So it'll be 1d6.
Do I regain my con strength?
Yes,
and
those of you that over the years from your wounds from the Carisserie, that will heal back
Okay.
over a very long time.
Thank goodness.
So about at 1 point of strength and size and con per week. So
Okay.
for those of you who lost a lot, it takes
5 years.
it takes quite a while for that to all eventually heal back. As far as sanity rewards, you'll regain 1d6 back for defeating Mendoza and Larkin, and 1d8 back for restoring the ward on the pyramid.
1d8.
Nice. 1, 2, 3,
6.
All right.
And just checking on the sanity, can we go higher than our?
Yes.
Then what you started with? Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Did we gain any Cthulhu mythos?
No. None of you lost enough sanity.
Nope.
And we didn't encounter a mythos creature, did we? Oh, well, actually. Or did we?
Well, I
mythos
probably
creature.
did, and my bloody vision thing, but I wouldn't know that.
All right.
Well, I'm wondering. I'll talk to you out of game.
All right. So,
Okay.
but so far you've all survived.
Excellent. Our players included Zane Fleming, Brian Daly, Nick Swan, Stuart Lively, and myself with Morgan Llewellyn as the Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Riley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.